Okay, and we are live. And tonight, you guys, just so you know, we are streaming from both the It's a Crime and Shame channel and the Just Gas Lewis and Sunny channel. So, for anyone that doesn't know that sees this stream on the It's a Crime and Shame channel, every Tuesday night, right, Lewis, at
Yes.
9:30 Central, for about an hour's time, we host the Just Ask Lewis and Sunny channel. Oh, let's see here. I gotta scroll down there. I heard. Thank you, 1920 Flapper Girl, for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Again, we're streaming from the two channels. So if you happen to see me type and then it doubles up, it's because it's coming out of both of the channels. And other than that, welcome to my husband, Steve Austin, who I asked so kindly to come on the show tonight. And of course, the co-host Lewis. Hey, Lewis, how's the eye today?
um,
Yeah, the
it,
same.
it, it's been a fun day with it. Yesterday and today have been fun, but I'm
Yeah,
trying to keep the patch off when I'm not driving or moving to try to get to exercise more
yeah,
because the eye is actually moving, which the doctor said wouldn't do for like almost a year. So I'm kind of shocked, but
yeah.
playing it by ear.
Husband, when Lewis has his patch on, he transforms into Johnny Depp. Just so you know, it's true. It's what happens. No, I'm
Supposed to
just
keep
like,
that quiet.
yeah. So,
That's for the paid promotional visits I do.
hmm let's say hello quickly to a few people, as a group or whatever that are in the house. Of course. So, um, let's see. I'm not sure if 1920 Flappers in here now, but welcome. Hi, who dis? How are you? Grandma Watches is in the house. The Just Ask Us channel, that's us.
Yeah.
We're in the house. It's a Crime and Shame's in the house.
Russ
And
Calley here.
yeah, Alexa's in the house.
Ray
Keon,
Jones.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, and Ray Jones is out here too, as usual. We appreciate the regulars that come in all the time on both channels. Means a lot to us.
Yeah, go ahead. Call some more out there. Who else we got?
I'll see
Who's
what I
that?
can see. Now that I can actually see something, right?
Yeah.
True Crime Housewife actually is on time today. That's a good thing. She always pops in though, so that's another one. And Grandma Watches, she's in the house too.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, can everybody please go in there and hit the thumbs up tonight for us too? We really need to get the algorithm going.
Yeah.
So if you guys could do that, we really would appreciate it.
That's on the Just Ask Us. Well, both of them.
Yeah,
So
both for both. I
that's
mean,
what
it
chat you're
helps
in.
both of us. Yeah.
But yeah, and if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Tonight is the Mr. Fix It night. So let's just too much moms in the house.
Yeah.
Outback, Joan, Ray Jones, we said, Stormer TV is my husband. Um, Yo, Steve, I wish I could be as smart
Looks like
ass.
everybody's thanking Steve for being in tonight. We appreciate that.
PJ second chance, yeah. Okay, so you guys, of course, like I said, this is Mr. Fix It night, and we both. So my husband and Lewis are very much of the same. Um, I don't know, got a hold a plethora of like information in their brains, and I've always bragged. You guys don't know, I always brag about my husband as well. My husband he's a jack of all trades. He knows a lot of everything and a lot of nothing, but mostly a lot of everything.
Oh,
Um,
I learn a lot, then forget a lot, so it equals out.
no, he's
Isn't it amazing how much stuff you remember when you go to do something that you forgot you knew?
Yep.
That's the weirdest thing. You know, you go to do something, it's like, I know how to do this, and I don't remember knowing that.
I don't have that issue. I just don't know anything. Anyways, so welcome to my husband, Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin Smackdown. Anyways, so husband, basically, just to start it off, basically give everyone a gist of kind of like your jack of all trades experience throughout your life that you've done, which is a lot.
Painting. No. I don't know. From pretty much young, as I've always knew that I'm more hands-on than sitting in an office. So I always go towards hands-on stuff and always learning stuff all the time. So from young age, it's kind of like always wanted money, obviously. So growing up wasn't the best. Wouldn't say what's what to say. It's not wasn't the richest family, put it that way. So my first thing to do was get a job, get money. So I want cash. So first of all, I went to it was like I can't remember what they're called. It was like a horticultural mechanic or whatever the hell they called it. I did that for like 2.5 years when I was around 17. Yeah, 17, I guess, when I started. So that's with chainsaws, lawnmowers, tractors, all that crap that cuts grass, pretty much. Anything with an engine that cuts grass. So I did that for 2.5 years, left there, and then my uncle said, "Hey, I have a job for you doing the same thing." So I did it again for another 2.5 years. But he had a bit more of the big stuff and more farm equipment and just everything the same, just bigger. So that's kind of where like more of the mechanic side comes into play from my experience. Because engines are usually pretty much the same thing. Put stuff in it, it explodes and smoke comes out. And then in simple terms. And then while doing that, I have loads of just hobbies myself of just building things, building planes, not real planes, but like remote control planes. So it's a lot of like structural building for planes and how to do the ribs and just how to build a plane really, but just in small version. So that kind of, I like doing that because it's just more of technical stuff. And once it's flying, it's like, oh, I built that. It's kind of enjoyment or satisfaction, I guess. And then other stuff, as well as home renovations with a neighbor I had who was attached to the back of the house. He kind of was the jack of all trades, and he did pretty much everything to a house that you could think of. So I hung around with him quite a lot of doing bathroom renovations or garden decking or house or living room and kitchen and all that crap. So did that for years and years and years and years and years. And then what else would I do? I then came to, I guess, Canada at that point.
Well, don't forget about the CNC.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, I forgot about that as well. So yeah. So after that, the horticultural side, I went to this to be a workshop assistant at the time at this CNC type of place. They're kind of getting set up themselves. So it's kind of like they're bringing new people on to try and train them and build up their own, like, it's not a factory because it wasn't big enough to be a factory, but they had 4 or 5 machines, put it that way. So then the guy who did all the home renovations and stuff, he did this in his spare time, and he built his own little one for himself. So then he was also the manager of that place. So then he brought me along to there to then start showing me how to do programming, in which I started learning that because I've always been good on computers. So I learned lots of CAD files and how to do all the files for making stuff, like anything you could think of, whatever it was, gears and whatever, whatever we made. So it was lots of files for that and learning programming. And then it was onto the table. So learning the CNC itself, programming that and transferring the files to the tables, cutting the stuff out, blah, 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 blah. And then from there, we decided to kind of go for it ourselves in a way, because we kind of left that job and went, okay, we'll build these machines ourselves, just me and him, in a warehouse beside them, which needed renovating. So then we spent a year renovating this building ourselves, doing other stuff on the side, same thing, home renovations and all that crap. And then it didn't really work out, wasn't my fault. Long story. Kind of gave up on that side of it, went back home. Then I started, relooking what's going on, what to do. And that's when I started that's when I started playing my RuneScape. That's when Sunny kind of comes into it, really. But because I've always, like I said, I've always been playing games as well, growing up. So then on the PC, it's just playing games, kind of, wouldn't say hating the world because of what happened, but just kind of keeping it to myself a bit. And that's when Sunny came along, and my friend who I never met, who lives in Wales, I've known him since I was little, well, since I was like 10. He said, "Oh, come to this friends chat. It's only like 7-8 people in it. They seem to be really cool." And I was like, I'm okay. I'll just don't really join chats.
Baby, honey, you didn't have to out me on the 7 or 8 people only.
At the start, there was only 7 or 8 people.
Fine.
Because I don't really go to big groups or anything like that. I tend to keep to myself. But anyway, I joined it, and then I got friendly with a guy in there. I'm sure Sonny's told the story probably 50,000 times.
No.
No?
No.
But either way, there's a guy in there who I was kind of closer friends to, talking to him. He kind of left. Sonny asked me where he went. I was like, no idea. We started talking from there, playing games, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden, she made me sell everything. Now I'm living in Canada. So then, so I sold everything. Yeah, no, I sold everything, came over to Canada, and then started working in Canada. In what did I do first? A hotel stuff.
General manager when we were,
yeah. Slash
well, you were,
maintenance slash hotel manager slash I guess restaurant manager as well.
Yeah. Slash pool.
Yeah, God, I hated that job. More the pool side, sitting in the pool forever, watching people in the pool because you had to. But anyway, then left there, and then resident manager for years, for a couple of years, I guess. And then from there to construction now, back to hands-on again, which now I'm a carpenter slash mill worker slash fix everything on job site person.
Yeah. See, Mr. Fix-It-Night.
If there's a problem, throw me at it. And the famous saying, what my work says, is, "You're a smart guy, you'll figure it out." Great. Great. And now I'm here on the live.
And Mr. Fix-It-Night. No, I just love the fact, obviously, that both you and Lewis, and this is what I love about Lewis as well, just a plethora of knowledge up there, very knowledgeable. A lot of people like that stuff. I'm a sponge myself, but for obviously different other things. It depends. Whereas you guys can go on about electronics and, construction and stuff like that. Oh, Ray wanted to know what a scouser was.
Someone from Liverpool. They're their own breed of people. They are.
Mm-hmm.
In Liverpool, it's very famous that you'll wake up in the morning and your car is sitting on bricks because they've took your wheels. But anyway.
So Kyle, you always know before we or during the show, Kyle, do your own darn dishes. We're not changing your kids' diapers. We're not doing your dishes. That's how do you help yourself? Because I can't help you if you can't help yourself. Do your darn dishes.
Or buy a dishwasher.
So Kyle is a regular with us, and Kyle likes to try to get us to do his dishes. Kyle, maybe that's a how-to question for Steve. How to get, I know it's not really construction-y, but how to get someone to do the dishes besides himself.
Buy a dishwasher.
Yeah, now a physical dishwasher.
But then you have to pick up the plates and put them in the dishwasher. That's too much.
Too much.
Oh no, and you have to open the door of the dishwasher. So no, that's too many things.
Oh, baby.
Or just invite people over for dinner and then tell them they've got to clean up.
Mm-hmm. Right. When we were at my twins' house having dinner the other night, I was like, "Okay, girls, these dishes aren't going to wash themselves." And then they all have that look like, "I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just a guest. I'm just here." No. That's why you have children. There you go. Thank you, slaves. But anyways, let me just see any of the comments. So if you guys have any questions for my husband or for Lewis, of course, you guys know to ask. Don't ask me about any of this stuff unless it's something. I'm just going to go along with the flow of what they have to say. I can ask him, how do you get Sonny to do dish? Oh,
no, I'm still trying on that one.
You just had to go there, Cal. And you guys gonna come up. All right.
We have a dishwasher. We just throw them in there, close the door, it makes noises.
Yeah. You know what was funny? It was only today. that my husband said to me. So, honey, when you load the dishwasher, you got to click that thing twice or the little pod won't fall out. And then you got to hit the heat temperature, okay? And I'm like, baby, I know how to use a dishwasher. Not that incapable. I definitely know how those things work. I'm not the best dishwasher in the world, I'll tell you that much, but I'm not even the best wife in the world, right? True crime housewife? No. But I love a lot and I care a lot. Does that count? No. Does that count? Let's see. I'm just seeing. Is there any questions yet? So if you guys have any questions, honestly, if you guys do have any questions at home for anything that you're doing and you need a tip or a trick or advice or something like that, don't ask me. Ask those two. Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask you either. Yeah. Just after everything you just said, you don't know nothing, right?
Nah, what? I don't know who I am.
I will say that I build a lot of waste oil heaters and rocket type stoves and mass heaters. So the project for that new shed is going to be one coming up. But I might wind up breaking down and buying one of these inexpensive diesel heaters, and I'll do an unboxing on it if I do.
Okay. Yeah. Lewis bought a new shed last week.
Sorry, I wasn't hardly listening. I heard rocket ship and a shed. Are you building a rocket shed?
No, have you ever built a rocket mass heater or rocket stove?
No.
They're J chamber stoves that burn from underneath, and they use very little wood, but they make a lot of heat. And I've adapted some of those to work off of waste oil instead of just wood. But I think I'm going to break down and buy one of these inexpensive Chinese diesel heaters that they sell now, which are based on like a rocket stove.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. I mean, they run on diesel, but you can convert them to work on waste oil. You just have to get the mixture right so you don't get buildup in them. But they're like $100 to $150, and they put out a lot of heat. And they use like milliliters of oil. You're not going through gallons of oil. Yeah.
We've got questions coming on. Now I'm just going. I got questions here. So Grandma Watches says, let's go hit the first one. I took slow mod off, by the way. Is a compression fixture good for sinks and toilets? Who wants to take that? Lewis or Steve? Let's go.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
I do know what they are, and they're fine for household water pressure. Compression fitting is like where you cut the piece of pipe and you put on the little insert, and then when you squeeze the two things together, you tighten them up. It compresses that. I forget the proper name for the pieces that go on the pipe, but it creates a pressure type seal instead of having to put threads on or actually having to solder a pipe.
Oh, like a shark bite type of connector.
Yeah, you know, they look like a T, and you've got the nuts that screw on either side, and then you've got those little banjos that slide over the pipe. And when you slide it together, you screw the threads together, and it compresses that fitting.
Okay, I know what you mean. I think we call them shark bites.
I was going to say, my husband sometimes the words that they use in England and the words that they use over here, because as soon as you were talking, Lewis, I was like, oh yeah, my husband knows exactly what that is. Yeah. But it's
a little different than
wording.
A little different than the shark bites. These are an older style thing, almost like if you were working on a car and you use those compression fittings for brake lines, and you're not supposed to use them for brake lines because the pressure, but you can use them for like a fuel line because the pressure's not as high. They make stuff like that for plastic and for copper pipe for fixing plumbing in the house, and they work fine. Okay. Yeah, I would never question those because household water pressure is never high enough to blow one of those apart.
Yeah.
Diamond Eyes says, did someone say cast iron? How do you get from rusting? Stop from rusting.
Grandma Watches put something up about that just a few minutes ago about how to season a cast iron pot, and she was pretty much spot on with her answer.
Did she answer?
Yeah, she did earlier, because Kyle put up about having to do something about cleaning cast iron tonight, and you really should never clean cast iron with soap and water like that, because you take off the oils that are on there, and it takes a while to get them seasoned like that.
Yeah.
But
okay. Alexa says, I have a question for Steve. Do I need to prime wood before I paint over it?
That's it depends. It depends on what you're doing with it. What type of wood? It depends. Normally you can. It's just you can buy wood primed as well, though. It just depends. It depends if you're going to paint it, then sure. I mean, staining it. Sometimes I hear on job sites that people go, "I want to paint my wood," and then they bring stain. I'm like, "Well, this isn't paint. This is stain." So I'm just hoping that she isn't meaning stain when she's saying paint. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally prime it. It's always best. It makes the paint stick better. It doesn't go flaky after a while and starts flaking off the wood, especially if the wood has oils in it or the sap, if it's a very sappy wood like pine.
I don't know. I found you at your primer. I don't know where I
But most of the
lost
time,
it.
the paints now have primer built in them anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 90% of the time.
Too much mom says. Here's a mystery problem. In one of the bathrooms in my house, the water in the toilet completely disappeared. That bathroom hadn't been used in a long time, and I happened to notice.
How long's a long time? Did it evaporate?
So, so why would water just go?
That depends on how long a long time is. Because it shouldn't. As if it disappears, I don't know why it disappears. I've never heard of that.
What do you think, Loris? Or one sec.
What was the question?
Well, in one of the bathrooms in Too Much Mom, the water in the toilet completely disappeared. That bathroom hadn't been used in a long time, but we don't know how long.
Isn't the water in the bottom of the toilet or in the tank on the back?
I'm thinking in the bottom of the toilet.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, if they mean in the bottom of the toilet, then that means that somewhere along the line where the water goes out, there's a problem in the tank itself, because
Yeah.
the toilet should work like an S, so that way you don't get fumes that come back up from the sewer vent. And by keeping the water in that S valve, it should stay in the toilet itself. But that could be a leaky wax seal on the bottom that's allowing it to drain out just because of pressure. If it's like on a second floor, that could happen. But it's kind of an odd.
I don't think it could leak out the wax seal though, could it? Because of the S, the water would stay at the bottom. Same as underneath like a kitchen sink. It would just stay there as a trap.
It should work that way, but I've seen where if that seal leaks, if it's high enough, depending on where it is, if it's above that line, it can over time get S, that wax seal, but it should sit somewhere in that S. It really shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
But that's an odd thing. You'd have to have some sort of what would cause it is if the wax seal was leaking, that would cause no vacuum, and then that way, if you were a higher level and the lower level sewer flushed out, it would then pull that water out of the S and nothing would go back into the S until you actually flushed. But I could see that being a very abnormal thing. Is it a second floor toilet that's doing that?
I say it should be very rare to catch that.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to sit for a while, and you'd have to have a system where there was some sort of vacuum pulling it, which is why I'm wondering if it's on a second floor. But I get you, or if it's a basement, if it's below the waterline level, that could happen too. If you've got one of those submersible pumps that pumps the sewage up.
So, at the end of the day, get a plumber.
No, not really. It depends. Just flush your toilet once in a while. Keep the seal.
I mean,
there.
yeah, I'd flush the toilet every now and then, and I'd check to see if you're getting fumes coming out of it. I mean, if you smell sewer from the toilet and nobody's using it, then you know that somewhere along the line there's something sucking the water out of it. There's got to be like a reverse vacuum onto the drain system to another toilet or another spot on there.
Okay, next question. We've got another important question. At Steve, did you know that Sunny was not much of a chef or a housekeeper prior to your journey to Canada?
I don't know, to be honest.
Great.
I know. Oh no, never mind. No, nothing.
That was going to be dirty.
I was going to say the only bit of food I've seen on camera, I can't really say.
I've already talked about it, honey. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the only thing I know is whipped cream in a can.
And strawberries.
Oh yeah, and strawberries on her keyboard. That's all the cooking I've seen or knew of.
Yes. So that answer is yes. He knew that I was this amazing chef housekeeper.
No, I didn't know he was amazing.
You're right. Awesome. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. There was an extra live out, Callie. Not sure if they canceled it. Who? No, this is running on 2 channels. Is that what you mean by that? Do 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 do. So this is running on the just ask Sunny or just ask Lewis and Sunny, and it's a crime and shame channel. Dude, it's kind of
Yes,
like
I wasn't sure how that's working because on my phone where I'm logged into YouTube, I'm not seeing some of the people that I'm seeing in the chat live on the other screen. So
right, yeah. It's kind of like what happens when I would run Aspen's channel. Um, it's just at the end of the day, it didn't. Oh no, I guess that would be fine. Yeah, huh. But anyway, same thing, same idea. Because we would like to get extra subscribers for people that don't know about us on the it's just ask Lewis and Sunny channel on Tuesdays at 9:30. You mean a fitting? Oh, I told you that who dis is a male, right, honey? That's
Huh?
our male of the group. She's a female version of you two. Who dis knows a lot as well. That's why it's like who dis, who dat, who dis, who dat. Okay, shark bites. Okay, I'm just scrolling down.
There was a question from I'm trying to find from True Crime Housewife about her bathtub, and she said when they don't use it a while, they get a smell from it. I'm wondering if it has one of those little vents on the side where the nozzle comes out that might be plugged, because for some reason it should be keeping water in the pipe so you don't get the fumes coming up. So if you're having to run water every now and then, that means it's not holding water in that S on that either. So the inexpensive solution is just run water through it every now and then, like you've been doing. But it
there's
could mean
loads
that
of
there's
hair
problem.
built up at the bottom and it's stinking.
Yeah, that could be too.
Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to, just because time is limited. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the next question. Question: what is the easiest way to get a stripped screw out, and will putting glue and sawdust in a screw hole really work?
It depends on how bad it is stripped and how big or small the screw is. You can try a rubber band or elastic band or whatever you guys call it. Put it over the head of the screw, shove your screwdriver on it. That usually works. Or what I tend to do is, it depends on where the screw is, of course, but you can try and cut like a slot on top of the screw head instead and ignore the original head and just create a slot yourself with like a hacksaw. I don't know
Right.
how to say it, or what tools you guys know, but a hacksaw or a little Dremel disc, just cut a little slot on it and then use a slot screwdriver to pull it out. But as for, it just depends on where it is. If it's deep and you can't get to it, or if it's exposed, then happy days. But there's also there's bits as well you can buy called, I think, tap out or something like that. It's like a fancy bit. It's like a double-ended bit, and you drill the head out, you turn it around, then as you unscrew the screw, it digs in. It's like a spiral, and it digs into the head of the screw, and that will take it out as well. I have them. They're pretty good. So there's a couple ways. It just depends on where the screw is, really.
And then she said, will putting glue and sawdust in the screw hole really work?
Nah.
What works real well for me is either a toothpick, a wooden toothpick, depending on the size of the hole, or some stranded metal wire that you use for, like, electrical connections. You take a piece of the wire and stick that in and then run the screws in. But the best way to do it,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the best way I think to do it is to take a wooden dowel that fits in there, tap the wooden dowel in, and then just re-drill a hole or run the screw through that.
Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong thing. I was thinking of the head was stripped.
Yeah,
the head of the screw was stripped, not the hole. But yeah, or a golf tee. You can hammer a golf tee in the hole and snap that off.
That's a good one to use instead of a dowel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says
I was thinking the head, a stripped screw out. So I was thinking.
Well, I think she asked both. I think you're right, Steve. She was asking how to get the screw out and how to fix the hole at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you were answering both, so that worked well. But I found in a bind the quickest, easiest thing in the house is to just grab a couple of toothpicks shove the toothpicks in the hole and then run the screw through that, and it'll grab more wood. And you can add a little glue to that first, but the best way to do it is with, like he said, a golf tee or a wooden dowel, and then just make a new hole, because that gives you a fresh piece of wood.
Skewer as well. A skewer is good.
Yeah.
Something like that. Long and pokey.
We're doing just fine because Hudis is in the chat there answering a bunch of questions while we're
Well, that's
answering
good.
these ones.
We've got backup.
Thanks, Hudis. Okay, let's see here. I'm sorry if I'm missing. I'm looking. Wait, yeah, this is my husband, Steve Austin. For anyone that doesn't know, and I just like saying this.
I do have to say, every time you say his name, what comes
I
to
know.
my mind is the
I know.
$6 million man.
I know. Me too.
Oh, please don't.
Honey,
Please don't.
honey, just do me a favor because I do love hearing this little quick story. Well, I like it when you said when your teacher would. What would your teacher do?
No, pretty much half the teachers would do, but there was a couple main ones who did it. It was my teacher for a computer class, and as I'd walk in, he would do this slow motion run, what he used to do, and he used to do that stupid music what came along with it, that thing, and he'd do that every time. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And it's like the $6 million man. I'm like, what the hell's that? I was like, I have no idea what you're on about. I'm like 12 years old. And it's like, oh, they never watched the show. I'm like, what are you on about? What show? But yeah, and then he would explain and show me the clip, and they would show me the guy as he started running really fast. There was that music would play, so he would do that and kind of do the fake run on the spot as I came into class every time. And then to my friends, I was known as Stone Cold. Everyone calls me Stone Cold. At work, they call me Stone Cold. And then anyone who knows, obviously, that show, I'm $6 million man. And every time I go to any office or any security place to get an access card and I have to give them my ID, they go, oh, you're the $6 million man, or you're Stone Cold. I'm like, please don't. It's annoying. Getting told that 10 times a day.
One sec. Do I have slow mode on this channel? Maybe I have it on this one. Oh, I do. I have it on this one. I took it off the one, but I needed to turn it back off the other as well. Coming back. There we go. I have it on both. That's why. I thought I took it off only the one. Yeah, and then in the RuneScape when we met, this one guy kept going. When we were in the bank, he kept going every time. Honey, remember SummerSlam, SmackDowns, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then every time he would do a lap, he'd say the same thing. I personally, because I loved Steve Austin from $6 Million Man. When I saw Steve's name in my chat, I was just like, oh, Steve Austin, $6 million, like he hasn't heard that before. And I'm pretty sure I said that to him too. But it was just that in itself that was the first sell right there, seeing that name, to be honest with you. Honestly, I was so proud when it's like Mrs. Steve Austin. I will gladly take it. Like, honey, just to quickly tell people on this. We have the same zodiac signs. They're both Cancers. You're June 22nd, 1990. Get jealous. I am 1969. Get jealous again because that's an awesome year. I just wish I wasn't 53 to go with it. And our names are SJA because obviously I'm Austin now, but his is Steven, and then Jay. I'm not gonna tell you his middle name. Jay, John. And so it's like we have the same amount of initials in our first name, middle name, and then of course Austin. It was just meant to be, people. It was just meant to be. It was fate, destiny. He swam. Okay, he didn't even fly here. He swam across the ocean.
Sure.
Come on,
bionic arms.
I mean, they don't need to know that it's not true. Yeah, he did the breaststroke.
Yeah, I think I would have gave up after 4 minutes and turned around and went back to the beach.
I do like his accent. He's from where? He's definitely New Zealander. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing at job sites as well. Like, oh, you Irish? No, not Irish. Then I just keep them guessing. I just don't tell them where I'm from.
It's always so funny. Remember the kids at the hotel? Are you from Australia?
Yeah,
Nope,
I know.
I'm from England. He's from
England
England.
land.
He's
Right
from
right in the middle of England.
yeah, butthole of England, I believe is what you call it.
That's what it is. The town is nicknamed the arsehole of England because you're right in the center of it. And the place was a shithole.
Okay, Alexa's having debating issues. Alexa, just confer with Hoodis on that one. I'm debating if I should paint my room pink.
No,
She likes pink.
no,
Alexa is like bedazzle, bejewel, pink. Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Paint it white.
No, white is not. No. Steve, are you teaching your brother work?
Yes, he's my apprentice at work. He came over knowing nothing about a year and a bit ago. And now he can pretty much do everything himself. Minus
good.
the headaches of Avid and them just not being organized. But yeah.
Yeah, his brother's 22. He's a hottie. You'll never probably catch him on a live though.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
Not a chance.
No, you only catch him on a live if I catch him on my phone and then use it show it on the live. That's about the only thing. Let's see here. Do you see anything else there, Lewis? I'm kind of scrolling down.
Well, Steph has said she's got a plug drain in one of her tubs, and liquid plumber is not working. So I don't know. Are you pouring hot water down after you pour it in and letting it sit, or are you not using hot water as a chaser?
Oh, go ahead. Obviously, something from the. Well, hold on. Yeah, obviously something from the merchandise site. Fibro says, "What is an excellent Valentine's gift for my husband?" I know that answer. Let's go to the merch site.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. You get him the bulldog hoodie, or the I'm an. No, just kidding.
and for Alexa, I would go at salmon on the walls and white for the trim, and box it in like a frame.
Oh no, I avoid the pink.
Tammy, what does that mean? Tell me what this means. Can you pull your arm up or your arm skin up so we can see the computerization in your arm?
You don't understand that?
No.
What? Okay, just let her stew on this. Let's see how long it takes for her to click on.
Can you pull your...
What were we talking about? About me, and then she puts that comment in. Oh my god, the Bionic Man.
Oh, that. Oh my mind was everywhere but on that question still. I'm so sorry.
Your mind was everywhere but the subject that we were talking about.
Sorry, I'm a little slow. Rose, Stone Cold is a wrestler. Stone Cold Steve Austin. My husband, one thing he wrestles is, all right, that's about it. He's not a WWF fighter. Life. He didn't come with $6 million.
I wouldn't be here if I had $6 million.
Yes, you would. We wouldn't be here if we had $6
million. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have even been here.
Areas depends on what this is. Oh, we answered that one. I think Steph is just coming up with questions so she can listen to you guys. Hey, Steffa. You know what, Steffa forgot to ask you guys a question. She wanted to ask you guys, what is the best way to tell north from south? What would you give for the best answer for that?
Use your phone. Google Maps.
Yeah, use a compass. Your phone is a compass. Yeah.
What you could do is get some charts and a sextant and a watch.
And play RuneScape.
Look for the horizon, see where the sun is. Or just use Google Maps on your phone because that's what I use all the time.
Hold on a second, I'll be right back. My eyes are starting to water. You don't have to know what stuff or what she did yesterday. It was too funny. She'll never live that one down with me. She had the tree. Did you know what she did, Lewis?
No.
She had okay, I'm sorry. My eyes just start watering. Okay, hold on. Okay. It's because my eyes are tired too. Anyways. Okay. So we're looking at the creek, Deer Creek, where the girls are in the bent tree.
Yeah.
And Steph is convinced that she knows exactly the tree on the north side, which one to look at. So she spends all this time searching for it. And then she pulls up the picture. She finally finds this picture. And it's highlighted in green. And she's talking about it. She's like, see, it's right there, the green tree, like this one here. And she has a big old north sign. And we're like, no, Steph, that's the south side. That's the side of the drive. So she's talking away and all confused about this tree thing, thinking that it's on the north side when it's really on the south side near the private drive. And what got me was it was like the sun off in the distance, but it was a big N. And I'm like, so you got the private drive and you got the big N on that side. And then so she's just like, you know what? No, never mind anything I've just said. Because she thought that tree was on the north side the whole time because she's trying to tell us about the bent tree. And we're like, yeah, that's the one on the south. We know about that one. So which one are you talking about on the north? And it's just, so Alexa, so Steffa, it was two things. First of all, she's going to relearn how to take videos instead of moving and making you motion sick. And the second thing she's going to do is learn north from south.
I do need to stand up for her because I wasn't there for this, but I think I understand the confusion. I think that the tree she's talking about is on the north side of the creek, but on the south side of the bridge.
Are you trying to mind me?
Well, that tree is on the Logan side of the water, which would be the north side of the creek. The one that looked like the V that she had the picture of?
No.
Okay.
No. This was the one that was literally on the south side. The big one that was hanging over.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one that's over by the private drive hanging across the shoreline. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So good fight. Lewis takes it back, Steffa.
I thought you meant the one that looked like the V that's on the north side of the water, but on the south side of the bridge. That is sort of on the outer part of where the shoreline falls off.
How do you snake a tub? You buy a snake.
Well, that can be a little tricky because a lot of them have the little thing that pops up and down, and you've got to actually unscrew and take out the plug for the tub, especially if it works off of a lever that puts it up and down. So
you'll have a little flat screw, a little slot screw on the side.
The easiest way to snake a tub is to actually, most of them have a vent cover that mounts on the side below the spigot. And if you take that vent cover off, that actually is what goes down. That's the overflow. That way, if you've got the tub plugged and the water comes up, it can actually vent out and it goes around the actual hole that's in the bottom of the tub. That's the easiest way to snake a tub. And there's usually one or two small screws that hold that cover on, and that cover is sort of slotted on the bottom to allow gases to get in and out. You unscrew that cover and then run the snake that way instead of going through the hole that's in the bottom of the tub. The drain is what's in the way, so you got to avoid the drain.
TMI. There's never TMI when it comes to me. Never too
Right,
much.
Steve, what's the name of that vent? Do you know? I can't think of the proper name right now, but
The what?
the vent that's on the side of the tub. Yeah.
It's just the overflow, just a cover for the overflow.
Yeah.
In case you fall asleep in the bathtub having it running. It won't
exactly. That's the easiest way to snake it is going through there.
Yeah.
That way you don't break anything for the actual stopper in the tub. I think somebody asked me a question about an ombudsman,
I don't
and
know. I think I'm.
it's been a while, but I want to say that is somebody that is hired to overlook people in political office or state or government positions, sort of like an overlooking investigative party. If that's the way they're using the term there, I think that's what they're referring to. There's older terms for that word too, but I don't think that's what they're asking about.
Lisa, his broken finger. Oh yeah, right. Hey Mustang, ride, Sally, ride. Don't forget, you guys. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe to the Just Cast Lewis and Sunny channel. Actually, let's see. Are any of you guys doing it? Let me go check you guys out. What you guys are looking at questions. They're still kind of talking about Alexa's paint and painting thing. I paid a plumber to clear it, so I knew it would happen. So it popped to my niece. If I need, I paid 110 for a plumber to clear it. We've had it happen before, so I knew it would happen again. Yeah. So when it popped out, my niece can clear it herself. Right. Absolutely. Like, I don't know about your wife, Lewis, but all I know is I love how resourceful and useful my husband has. Like meaning I have a computer issue for the most part. You know, when it comes to the computer part, I can ask my husband. My husband, I remember.
Well, that side's easy because usually it's you who's broken it.
Haha, no. Do you remember? I remember in the hotel, and just before we got to the Lloydminster Hotel, Eric, douche.
Oh
that he
God,
is.
forgot all about him.
I know. I try. He's like a greeno. Whoops, my bad. But he is. But anyways, seriously, he's like a greeno. But he had ordered us some furniture. And I remember walking into the room and has been sitting there with all these screws out, you know, working away. And I'm like, you know, I said, don't you hate doing that? Like feeling bad for him. He's just like, no, I like putting things together. And he's just like a little kid in heaven. And I'm just like, really? Maybe it's because I'm just so used to people bitching about the fact that they actually have to build it and da 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 da. Whereas my husband was just sitting there just like do 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 do. Oh, there's another piece. There's another piece done.
Because I didn't have to build it from the start, so it's just you put it together. Like building furniture and stuff is you just turn your brain off. It's just relaxing to me.
Yeah,
exactly. This is relaxing.
Unless you buy it from IKEA, then that isn't furniture. That's just some weird hybrid.
Hey, Deb.
Some of that stuff is tricky.
You build it, then don't touch it or look at it because it'll break.
Yeah.
You know, let me ask you both, and it doesn't matter. Well, think of home, maybe perhaps. If you guys had one trick or tip that you felt was something that could help people out with regards to the home, of something that you've come across, doesn't matter what it is in the home, a tip or a trick that you guys, I don't know, just something that sticks out in your head that you came
from
across.
Maintenance side on apartments, I know what people could buy if they don't have one is a toilet plunger, because I'll stick a toilet plunge in people's toilets. And all you got to do is go buy a $10 plunger, so I don't have to do it.
And actually make sure you get the right one, because there's plungers for toilets and there's plungers for regular drains.
It looks like an accordion.
Yeah. Or a bubble. It's got a smaller opening on the bottom than a regular plunger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a online game. It's a, how do you call it? It's an MMO RPG. Is that how you say it? RuneScape. It's like you go to that, like you could go to RuneScape.com right now and go sign up and make an account, that type of thing. You know.
So I would throw a tip out there that if you have a thermostat, learn how to use a thermostat and don't move it constantly up and down to try to control temperature.
Well, there you go.
It'll cost you a lot less money in the long run to find a comfortable temperature and leave it there.
Usually it's like 22 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Keep
You know,
it there.
some people feel that when they're not there, they should let the house cool down in the winter time and then warm it up before they get home. And it takes a lot more energy to raise the house 10 degrees than it does to keep it at 1 or 2 degrees.
Yep. And loads more money and energy to get your house back to warm again.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a lot rougher on the furnace to be on and then off and then on and then off. When it just stays on constantly working like it needs to, and you're not overworking the system to try to get a 10-degree increment change within an hour or two.
It's not. I don't think it matters as much as over here, but like back home in England, we have radiators and we still have boilers and radiators and pipes everywhere.
Yeah.
So most people try to turn it off or forget that to turn it off, and then the freeze comes, and then your pipes burst.
Yeah. Yeah. In the United States, depending on what part of the country you're in, at least not so much now, but 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, the type of heating system you had was based on what part of the country you were in, because in certain areas oil heat was cheapest, so they used boilers and furnaces that used oil, and there was always like a tank in the basement. And then other parts of the country, where it wasn't as cold, they would stick with electric baseboard heaters. And then you've got other parts of the country that use forced hot air type systems. So it's kind of an odd thing when you see these older houses being renovated. Depending on what part of the country you're in, it's a whole different system. And people that have never had boilers and radiators before don't even understand how that works, with having to use the little key to bleed them and get the air out, or getting that pipe knock if you don't. It's weird.
Yeah. Or you go even older, and we used to have coal and our
Yeah,
chimneys
yeah.
and log fire because we have chimneys.
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly.
you and Steve are bonding like you and my sister did over food. Yeah.
Over what?
I have a question though, because I was only kind of listening, like,
Yeah.
like most of the times.
Nothing new.
I'm sorry. So, did you say that there's a difference between plungers?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, can you say that again? Because I didn't hear you.
They're for large poos and small poos.
No, there's a different plunger for toilets than there are for flat drains, like in a bathtub and a sink.
Oh, I've just always just wandered around with it in my hand.
Like the normal plunger that looks like you cut a ball in half and it just has a handle on one side and half.
The very basic looking plunger.
Yeah. That's for like doing your bathtub somewhere where it seals flat and it's pushing air through the drain. And then on a toilet, because it's cupped and it's got to push the air into the hole in the bottom, instead of looking like half of a ball, it looks like either 3/4 of a ball with a little nipple on it, or it looks like an accordion on the plastic ones. And that works like a bellows, where it's creating more air pressure and directing it right into the toilet.
Baby, I know what a bellow is from RuneScape.
Well, that's different. That's for forging iron.
No, the bellow thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on about hunting the frogs and yeah. Well, that's the RuneScape special. You don't go around putting bellows into toads in real life.
Oh no, but I thought it was kind of like the same idea.
It's the same idea, but not what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
You're on about the 2 wooden paddles of leather in between for a bellows. That's for stoking charcoal in a forge.
Yeah, getting fire hot, keep the coal going.
Yeah.
Let's look at Firo's message. We are building our house as we go, since we had to sell our home before I went on disability. We put in electric wall heaters. My husband wants to figure out how to wire them up to one thermostat control.
I don't think that's smart. It's cheaper to do separate zones and have a separate thermostat on each one of the electronic baseboard. I'm assuming they're baseboard heaters that are electric, but I would want to do each one separately, because that way you can control your electric bill and you can control the temperature in each room or each zone. It might cost you an extra, 4 or 5 thermostats, which are probably $10 or $20 for the cheap ones, but in the long run, you'll save that in 2 months worth of bills by having them separate zoned.
I haven't really looked into them. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was say people pay a lot more money with other types of heating systems to do the zones separately. So you're way ahead of the budget by doing it that way. It'll be more economical and it'll save your money in the long run.
There you go. That's your answer? Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just not sure on the Nest thermostats. I don't know if they can do multiple thermostats like on apps or anything. I've never looked into them.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
they're fancy, but I don't know if you can like link up different radiators to them or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can do that either, if it's modular or you can have separate ones
Yeah.
hooked up to the same app. That would be interesting.
If I plunge the tub, do I have to take the silver thing out that collects the hair?
No.
No. I know that one, Stefan.
And normally when you plunge it as well, as you go up and down, up and down, up and down, it tends to suck all the hair and gets caught into the thing that's supposed to catch it. And then I tend to use like a little orange, like a plastic snake thing. It's like a tiny little orange stick with little legs on it, and you just kind of just pull the rest of the hair out through that way.
I will say, if you're trying to plunge a tub, you have to plug the vent, otherwise you're defeating the purpose of plunging it.
Yeah, the little vent to the side, the overflow.
Yeah.
You'll
If you don't
hear it.
plunge that vent, the air is coming right out through the vent and not pushing anything through the pipes.
Yeah, and then as you plunge it, you'll hear it trying to breathe through the air vent.
Oh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When it comes to, the Mr. Fix-It stuff, what would you guys say each of your favorite thing is to do that you find that you enjoy the most out of anything to do with fixing? And what is it? Like for you,
Wow.
like,
I don't know.
besides fixing your wife, honey, you can't say that.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have an
Does
answer,
it-
to be honest.
Does it have to be home related?
Yeah. No, just whatever you like, whatever you want to say. But I want to go get something because I want to show it. I've showed it once before, but my husband made it and I love it. Right back.
Did I?
Well, she's gone. What I'd say, because I'm assuming, Steve, you think the same way. There's nothing fun about having to fix stuff. But what I actually enjoy is I get a lot of phone calls from people I know with certain car problems, because I know certain vehicle issues really well. And I don't mind helping them troubleshoot stuff over the phone that 2 or 3 things in, and I can usually figure out the problem they've spent weeks working on. So I enjoy the fact that I can do that. Mobile troubleshooting of vehicles over the phone is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I guess the same way, really.
Yeah.
It's just like for myself growing up, it's kind of like I just want to know. I want to say I want to know everything, but it's like if I don't, whatever I'm going for at the time, I want to try and learn as much as I can about it as best as I can at the time. And then whatever my next thing is next year or the 2 years later, it's like, oh, okay, I don't really know anything about this. I want to try and learn as much as I can about it. And it's just kind of that's how I went through life, and it kind of just you build up the knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
And then someone randomly will ask you, I got this problem. You're like, what the hell? Okay, let me just go back into the brain bank and try and remember what I did.
Yeah.
It
becomes like a pet peeve. You've got to figure out what that issue is because you fixed it once before.
Yeah. And then it's like a little challenge as well. Like, oh, you couldn't do it, but I can.
Yeah.
And helping people out, of course. If someone's getting stressed out, you go, oh, no, you idiot. You do this. So easy.
Yeah, I enjoy troubleshooting electrical gremlins on certain GM trucks and LS motors and stuff like that. I just hate physically doing it myself, but I'll help people over the phone or online all day long figuring out and chasing their gremlins.
Yeah. The vehicle stuff, I'm not really there on that one. My dad knows everything you can think of with vehicles and cars, and he does that forever. So if I ever needed an issue, I'd ask him. If I needed an issue, I don't need an issue. If I ever have an issue,
You already have an issue. Right here.
I knew what you meant, Steve.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
tired.
wait, you guys can't see it that well. It's
No. Oh, that's my sample. Yeah.
doesn't matter. It's
Why doesn't what color is that not showing up?
because it's green. It's the teal.
Oh, okay.
So it's not showing
So
up.
this thing
The
here
green's
is
still on the back.
It's it's my cutting board.
it's like a sample thing that I was making, because when
I
people are
love it.
making like epoxy tables and stuff like that
Yeah.
out of like real wood. I was like, well, I've never tried it, so I thought I'd make like a little small chopping block out of epoxy and do sample strips of each color, so I can see what it's like.
Yeah.
So it's white oak, in between, and then you got the slats of each colored epoxy.
Okay.
You can't. That camera doesn't really pick it up that
It
good.
doesn't
but
pick it up as nice
it's
as it
just
what it is.
it's like a sample and a quick play to see how it is, see how it's like to work with, and
Yeah.
how it dries, and blah
What?
blah 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 blah.
What? Yeah, it's I love. Whoops, I went blurry. Hold on. One sec. Another. I came back. Okay. No, wait. I love it. My husband made it, and I was like, "That's mine." It doesn't. The bejeweled tones of it, like the oyster tones of it, isn't picking it up, and that one color is a very pretty teal color. That's because of the green screen. It's not showing it up, but it's as soon as he made it, I was like, "That's mine." I think it cost you guys a couple $100 to make that. To be honest, by the time all of
It's,
it's
it's
done.
because it was like $200 to get all the stuff and mess around
Yeah.
with it, but we had more stuff left over to make another 2 or 3 or whatever. But
Mhm.
it was just more of a sample and a quick play because I've never done it.
Yeah. Yeah, but did you like playing with epoxy, honey? Because I have some great ideas for it myself, and
I
want to-
still so that's the thing. At where I'm working, we're currently taking over another unit and turning it into a fully functional millwork shop. So it's like once that's finished, and there's no heater in there at the minute, so it's freezing. So you can't pour epoxy when it's freezing. It has to be between a certain temperature. And I want to make one of those like a table for myself, like a computer desk. But I will be doing it again. But yeah, it's like a risk because you got to do it. You got to make a mold for it. You can't just go, oh, I'm just going to pour it on. You have to make a mold, pour it on, and hopefully it doesn't leak. And then if it leaks, then you've just wasted however many hundreds of dollars on how big the table is. It's stupid money, but it's just
It is interesting. I'm actually going to build a table. I have an old U.S. Postal mail cart. I just sent you 2 pictures. If you want to throw them up, Steve will probably enjoy this. This is my project for this summer, and it's a very old iron cart that they used at the airports for mail. It probably weighs about 500 pounds, and I'm going to make it where the wood used to be. I'm going to make an inlet for it out of wood and epoxy, and make like a coffee table out of this thing. Did they go through, Sonny?
Yep, they should be up on the screen now.
Oh, cool.
Well, there's the one anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
oops.
And so, sorry, what are you going to make out of it, Lewis?
A coffee table.
Oh, a coffee table. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna. The fact that Steve brought up the epoxy resin and all that, I'm gonna wind up making some sort of a wooden insert with epoxy resin over it. I'm not sure what I want to put in the middle yet. I might wind up making like an old train yard diagram, because this is from the airport and the train cars, and make
Right.
maybe a setting in the middle that matches where this cart was originally used. I haven't decided yet on that, but I've
Right.
never used epoxy resin before, and I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm tempted to do that with this.
You just about just clear coating it on top.
Well, no, what I want to make it like 3D. I want to build like a
Yes.
diorama on wood that's in there that sits below that 2-inch border, and then
Yeah.
pour the clear resin over it to seal it in and give it that 3D effect, but be flat on top.
Yeah,
Lewis,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I brought this topic up to my husband. One
Yeah.
day, my husband was talking about epoxy, and I said, wouldn't it be cool if they made kitchen counters exactly what we're talking about? There's
Yeah.
like a 3D or whatever, a 3D gut diagram or something underneath, like a city. Let's just say a city landscape, and then you pour epoxy on it and create this, like I said, this 3D visual look. But you can create like a design instead of always the stupid flaky crap counters that they always have. Like, I don't care, like doesn't matter. I'm tired of looking at that stuff. Doesn't matter how new it is. I'd rather see something unique, and I'd rather see something like a skyline or some sort of freaking mushroom bushes fairyland thing on my.
It's because the counters you have in kitchens nowadays, they're cut proof, whereas epoxy in the wood isn't. So over time, it's really just a big chopping board. So over time, you'll have scratches on your counter.
Okay, well, at least a piece of the counter that's considered a chopping board then.
That's why they make like coffee tables and stuff out of them, because you're not using a knife
Yeah.
or throwing plates down all the time or whatever else.
you know. But I just thought like that would be cool. And Lewis, that sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to look very cool.
Make sure you buy a blowtorch.
Yeah, to
Good.
heat it up and get the air out.
Yeah, the little bubbles at the end.
Yeah.
And then
If
whatever
I
you
ever
put,
get to that stage, I don't know. I
Yeah,
might
if you
wind
ever-
up just doing a nice wood inlay and stuff, but I'm really tempted to try the epoxy on it.
yeah. Just
That'd be
if
cool.
there's anything by itself in there, like let's just say figures or anything, everything will
Yeah.
float if you put it in epoxy. So you'll have to like
Yeah.
somehow
Well,
glue it down.
What my thought was to do the first stage, put the wood down, and then do whatever the topography is going to be, and then if there's going to be any water, I was going to use a blue epoxy resin to do the water first, and then have everything attached, and that way when I pour the clear resin over it, everything's already down there and won't move.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Well, let's try this. Honey, what do you need the air torch for? To get rid of the what?
Air torch,
Yeah.
blowtorch.
The blow you said to Lewis to make sure you have
Yeah.
a torch to
When
get
you
rid of
when you
that.
pour the resin for like the top coat or actually any coat of resin, it'll have loads of bubbles in it after because you've stirred it up to mix the mixture together. It makes bubbles. So you pour your resin, let it sit for a second or a minute or so, and then go over it with the torch, and it'll take out all the bubbles. Bubbles.
think of the epoxy resin as honey. Like if you're pouring honey, the air that gets trapped in it and it gets all cloudy, when you heat it up with the blowtorch, all that cloudiness comes out and it gets crystal clear and smooth on top.
Bambi's meowing.
I can hear her.
Right, you want to go see Daddy? Okay, you guys, it's time to wrap it up, or basically here. So, unless there's anything else, let's see. Go ahead, Lewis and Steve. Give your final thoughts. If you had final thoughts, what would it be?
I'll let Steve go first.
I need him to.
My final thoughts: win the lottery.
And
That's pretty much it, really. Keep trying to win the lottery.
yeah, is this why you get honey? This is why people are calling me Money Justice. It's because of isn't it? I'm not going to live it down.
Why? Why are they
Hey?
calling you Money Justice?
Oh, it's the trolls that do, honey.
Oh, the
Because-
internet's full of people.
Yeah, people. But you know what? I felt like this was appropriate. You know, I was looking at pictures and I was like, this is for the trolls. That's me right there, right? All the time.
Why do they
Yeah.
think you're hoarding money or something?
No, it's just the trolls, honey. Right? Because we monetize the channel, and then they want to say that because people donate and stuff like that. There are some the troll channels call it money justice, but that's just
Yeah,
from
sure.
those people that are insignificant, though. So those ones don't matter. But I thought it was kind of funny when I saw that. I was like,
You
Money,
should just
money,
do it more
money.
often then annoy them even more.
right? Yeah, but I might annoy the regulars, then, honey. But you know, but anyways, yeah. So it's just one of those names out there by only a certain select few losers. Anyways, who dis? I think who dis had probably fun in here. I never seen who dis talking up a storm like she was tonight on there. Anyone have a good show to watch while I'm snowed in tomorrow? Yeah.
The Last of Us. I haven't watched it yet, but that's just came out.
What's The Last of Us about?
It's from a game, and apparently they're copying the game, and it's like a dad and a daughter, and it's like an end of the world type virus type apocalyptic tick thing. I haven't seen it, so I don't know how they've done it yet. But apparently, my mum and my brothers watched the first episode, and it's really good.
Are you talking about Ricky or Ryan?
Ryan.
Oh, okay. There's my troll.
I don't know what it's on. In England, it's on Sky One, which is an England only channel, but I don't know what it's on over here. I haven't looked into it yet. It literally just came out, I think, a couple of days ago.
Who just rent the Elvis movie? Gotta love Elvis.
You know, you asked about final thoughts. I guess the best final thought is, if anybody that's out here listening wants to do something and they're afraid to dive into it, you can always find some way online to figure out where other people have tried it. Watch 20 or 30 videos, figure out the easiest way that works for you, and then do it. If it doesn't work out and you tried it on something used or that you're going to get rid of, at least you tried it and you know if you can do it or not, and then do the proper one if it works out well. But don't be afraid to actually watch and do.
And also search for the errors of their ways. If you have an idea, search why they fail.
Yeah, that's a good point, because there's a lot of fail videos out there where people put up what they've done wrong and how they fixed it.
Is that what you did with me, honey? Looked at what you did wrong and learned how to try to fix me? There's no fixing me.
Yeah, True Crime Housewife, you're right. They've been out here putting salt down for the last couple hours. I guess it's supposed to come through pretty heavy tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, no snow here. Rain, no snow. This is our rainy weather. It's been raining a lot lately.
It's cold, miserable, and wet.
Well, I'm dry, warm.
And I hate downtown with a passion. And I'm back down there again tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, no, I did go outside. I ventured outside to the dentist today, remember? And it was cold, miserable, and wet. But I was okay with it because I was hot anyway. So nice little fresh air. Honey, I hadn't walked over that area in quite a while. Pretty much since I worked there. Where I work, where I used to work. It's like
right.
2-minute walk. 2-minute walk to the dentist. Maybe it's 3. I don't know. You know what? My husband too. Honestly, I was really choked because this one day came home or whatever it was, and my hair flattener wasn't working for whatever reason. It's like the thing just wasn't doing it. So I'm just like, fix, husband, you know. And then my husband, he'll just like open it all up, you know, do his little tinkering.
Your wire snapped off, so I just resoldered it back to the circuit board.
Nice, it's in solders.
Oh, that was another thing I did. I did printed circuit boards. I made my own circuit boards. By the way, just another random thing.
For what?
It was the controller module for the CNC machine, the handset. We had our own blackout room, PCB tanks. You'd take the board, you'd etch it with wow, forgot I did that as well. And then I'd sit there and solder all the modules on, the resistors, the little lights, the triggers, all that crap. And then the Raspberry Pi came out, and it's not a Raspberry Pi what you think. You can't eat it.
I was just gonna say you just ate it. And I was like, right.
And then anyway, another flashback.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you know at Steffa, do you know what most people used to watch MLB live? What's MLB?
Major League Baseball?
I guess so.
I don't watch any sports, so I am useless on that subject. Unless it's UFC, that's it.
I agree with you. Watching sports just seems like a waste of time for me.
Been there, done it, bored of it.
You know, who just made a comment about fixing a washer for $20? And I want to say this. If you've got appliances and something goes wrong, there's a couple different sites plus YouTube or your friend. You can fix almost any major appliance inexpensively these days, unless there's just a major failure. But there's so many minor things that go wrong these days, and they're so easy to diagnose.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys. What, honey? Were you going to say something?
I was about to say, if you are going to fix appliances, make sure you unplug them before you start messing around with them.
Yes, especially microwaves.
And stoves.
A microwave can kill you. Anyone out there that wants to take a microwave apart, it will actually kill you if you touch the wrong parts on the inside.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bother messing around with a microwave. I would ditch it and buy a new one. It's not worth it.
Yeah, certain things aren't worth it.
Just make sure it's unplugged. So many people work around cut wires while they're still plugged in.
Yeah. I take
And
the
if you-
transformers out of microwaves and I use them to build portable welders for on the trail for Jeeps.
That's cool.
Kind of went to left field on that one, didn't it?
Oh, that's cool.
Something totally opposite of what you
It just
were.
shows how powerful microwaves are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just wrap the wires differently around the things and you put two in series and you attach some wires and run 12 volts to it. And man, you can weld right on the trail.
And then you get a free X-ray.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us tonight on Just Gas, Lewis and Sunny. And of course, like I said, it was streaming to the It's a Crime and Shame channel. So if anyone doesn't know that, watches this later, catches it later. Oh, my bad. Well, the description is in the of this video is the link to the Just Gas, Lewis and Sunny. Plus, there's the Facebook page as well for the Just Ask Lewis and Sunny. But it's in the description. B. Murphy. Welcome, B. Murphy. Thanks for becoming a member.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, I just want to say, of course, thank you to all the loyal followers and subscribers. Especially there's definitely a good group of people that are always in here, no matter when we're live. Some people don't lack sleep because of it, and just want to say that we truly appreciate you. Again, each week, like next week is Lewis's turn. Lewis will decide what our topic will be for next week, and we'll do that as well. Again, and I know it's not always easy. I mean, in a short period of time, to answer all the questions, and then, but hopefully it helped a little bit. But my husband, just like anyone, when he wants to know something too, he Googles it. But it is sometimes nice to come on and talk live with somebody and just simply ask them a question if you can. Of course, because I am known for Money Justice, when you donate $1 million or more, we look at those questions right away.
Well, I don't see any of that.
No,
you're hoarding it then.
I haven't seen one yet. Still waiting. But anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next Tuesday. Again, Lewis will choose which topic we'll be talking about that week. Thanks to my wonderful, gorgeous, sexy husband for joining us tonight. I absolutely appreciate all his knowledge. My husband, and I'm going to be braggadocious again because I always am.
Oh, just skip.
Now, I do want to say, though, thank you for coming on tonight, Steve. We appreciate it. And it was good to finally meet you online. I hear about you all the time, and I hear you in the background, but we've never actually been able to get on together. So this was fun.
I actually didn't even know that.
Good to meet you.
Yeah. So, sorry, honey, cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
No. Two wonderful men. I mean, Adam is too.
Well, he's not here, so he's not.
It's not quite as wonderful, but then we didn't invite him either. No, just kidding. But no, two wonderful people with a lot of knowledge, really great hearts.
Three wonderful people.
Yes, you left yourself out. There's three of us here.
Three wonderful people. Oh, see, my husband. They're always there to pick me up. Always,
Good.
always. Never says a bad word to me.
Oh, Steffa.
What'd she say?
You're lucky I didn't charge you for it.
Oh, Steffa had to go there, didn't she? I was just
That's a freebie.
I was just telling the story the other day again. I don't care if anyone sees my butt. I just care that our room was dirty or messy, whatever. The perfect timing of that day. Okay, if anyone doesn't know that inside joke of what happened, I'll tell you again another day.
No, please don't. Let's just forget it and
No,
the history.
no. I've still laughed at that one was so because I distinctly thought that you didn't hear, and Adam and Frank would not shut up, and I'm like, dudes, like shut up, like you didn't.
I'm gonna step in here and save Steve for a minute and let everybody know if they really want to get some questions out for next week and in advance, if they go onto our Facebook page and message me or Sonny, that's probably the best way to get the questions. So we've got them ready for you when we get on to the next live. Or if you guys have a topic that you want us to talk about, send that to us through a messenger on Facebook. Because it's kind of hard to read the comments on this. They don't always come up early enough. So
It's the best place to go is to the Facebook page.
Yeah. If they just if they want to send a private message to either me or Sunny, that way we've got an advance and we can actually dedicate a show based on what you're asking about, and hopefully give you some better pictures and instructions too.
No, 1 second. I think it's right here. Just trying to find it. Is it going to copy? Copy. Is it going to copy and paste properly if I do it from the thing? Nope. I think it just did this. Look at. I don't think it's going to work. If it only. I was in the live thing, but it puts dots there, so don't click that because it's probably not going to take you there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to do the whole link or if it's going to cut it off.
No, I was on it and then I left it, so I was too lazy to drop it. Hold on. Oh no, here it is. I got it. I got this. I can help out through this show. Wait, Lewis, are you giving pics? Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much willing. My husband has an OnlyFans page as well.
Yeah, it's called My Ass Crack.
Green to yellow probably just now. Honey.
What?
YouTube rules don't like certain words.
Oh God, sorry.
I'm sure you got away with that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you. Let me just double check though. However, if it went yellow all because of that, somebody is getting. Oh, you're lucky it's still alive.
That is just, yeah.
No, I know.
Steve's OnlyFans page is just a ceiling fan spinning nonstop.
Oh my God, Alexa burnt her sugar cookies, people. How do you burn sugar cookies? Oh no, you can actually, very easy. If you don't keep an eye on those sugar cookies, they're toast. Anyways, you guys, my cat's whining. My cat wants out of here, wants to food or something like that. Husband, he's got to work in the morning, so he wants to have some more time to play on the internet. Appreciate your husband coming on. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Lewis,
yes,
like you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, nice live, and thanks everybody so much.
You guys all have a great night. Thanks for joining in again, and thank you again, Steve.
Yeah, no worries. Good to meet you.
Honey.
Bye.
He's mine, girls. He's mine, Stuffer. You got it. You got to get your own. Okay.
I'm not that great.
Whoa. I can't end the live with you saying that. I got to build you back up after a comment
okay.
like that.
I'm going to leave myself. Peace, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night, Steve.
Good night. Hold on. Kate, 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. I'm just trying to tell husband to come get Bambi out. Go see daddy. Go see daddy. Okay. Okay. I have to show you Alexa's sugar cookies. Those are amazing, Alexa. How you got them to look that charcoal and brown is beyond me. But she did it. She did it. Let's take a look. Let's just bring up the money justice sign there. 1 second. And all right. If all you guys are in all of these, look at that. Look at those nice, crunchy, toasty sugar cookies. Huh. Lewis, how could you fix those?
Easy. Just take a knife and lightly scrape the back of them. Or if you've got like a brand new one of those Brillo type pads for cleaning dishes, you know, the sponge that's green on the other side, take the green end and use it like sandpaper, and it'll come right off real easy.
Oh, I got a better solution. Open up your trash bin lid and let them slide on off into the garbage and remake another batch.
It's not like the whole cookie's burned. It's just the bottom.
No, that's the whole front of the cookie.
I think she flipped them all. Oh, the one I see the legs is burnt. Yeah.
I mean, this is clearly the topper of the cookies.
Give those to the people you don't like.
Make a new batch. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's our motto here. Alexa, I'm proud of you. Those look like worse than anything I've ever personally done to a cookie before. I don't think I've ever achieved that level of success. They look like black bears. Right. I can just picture the black that would be in somebody's teeth for a week. I guess I'll bake tomorrow. You know, I mean, I don't think Alexa ever claimed to be the world's best baker or home chef there. Mm. I think she likes decorating and decors and stuff better, but yeah, that's fine. It's great cookies, Alexa. Great. If you
The
can just
peanut butter cookies came out looking great.
yeah, the peanut butter ones. I mean
Yeah.
50-50 so far, Alexa. But make sure that you post those to our Facebook page, Alexa. You know, I mean, just because people are going to be in awe and shock a little bit of just how well those turned out. I know, lucky she didn't catch a fire. They probably were on fire. Can you believe the gingerbread dude was probably like, save me, save me. And I'm done. That's too cute. All right, guys. You take care. Have a great night. And
Good
we'll
night,
see you
everybody.
next week on Just Ask Lewis is any. I'm an excellent chef. I got distracted. I'll redo myself next week. Proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding, and it better be some pudding. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Good night.
Dun, dun, dun.